and welcome to topic 9.3, which is about the marketing mix. So the essential idea is that empathy for and understanding of the target audience is developed through analysis of the chosen market. And one way to analyze your target market, so analysis and empathy, is by finding suitable marketing mix combination. A marketing mix refers to the 4Ps. So these are the subtopics that we will be covering today, which is obviously product, place, price, and promotion. And whoever takes business in the IB might be very familiar with these. So product is one of the 4Ps, and it's a tangible good or service. So tangible good or service that is sold to customers or other businesses. So I think what's important to remember is that products are not only things you touch, but they can also be services. So what is product standardization? Well, product standardization is the process of setting generally uniform characteristics for similar products. So uniform characteristics could be in aesthetics, in function, or other things. So we'll go more in depth in the next slide. So there are three main types of standardization, and the first type is called government standardization. And so these are countries that have standards for the products that are created within that country, and they have to do with health, safety, and the environment. So one example of this could be the certification mark that was created by the European Economic Area, so by the EEA. And you see this often in products that you buy in Europe, and it's most often used for tech products. And so what's important is that if consumers can see that this certification mark is found in their tech products, then they know that this manufacturer has indeed conformed with the health, safety, and environmental regulations that are set by the government. So the second type of standardization is component standardization, and this is when the component is developed and used interchangeably between other similar products. So an example of this is USB cables, and this is because most USB cables really fit in computers most times. And the last product standardization method is industry-wide standards. And this is when industries voluntarily adopt standards that enable them to work collaboratively and compete effectively in the market. So certain products have to meet certain standards within an industry to be accepted as high quality. And an example of this is Kite Mark. This is a British quality assurance symbol, and it's frequently used for products relating to safety. Now we're going to talk about the two key product types. So trigger products are key products within a company's product range, whereas incremental products are add-ons to the trigger product. And there are various examples for this. So a printer would be a company's trigger product because it's one of the key products that they offer, whereas a printer ink is used for this trigger product, but you would never buy ink by itself. Okay, now let's talk about the second P, which is place. Place is a process. Place is not a physical location, it's a process of moving products from the producer to the user. And there are two definitions that you need to understand for place. So supply chains are networks, and you can think of them as key contacts that can be businesses, people, or activities. And they're networks between a company and a supplier that are used to distribute products to the user. Distribution channels is basically a chain, or this process of businesses through which a good or service passes through to reach the end consumer. So now let's think about the different pathways that businesses or products can take to reach the user. So these are just three different examples and three different ways that manufacturers get their products to consumers. And in these examples, you explore three different supply chains or networks, which are wholesalers, retailers, and agents. So you have to also keep in mind that in real life, for businesses, they actually can use many other different combinations of distribution channels. So these are not the only ones that exist out there. So the yellow section is called the two-channel distribution method because it has two intermediaries. The green section is a one-channel distribution method, and the black is a three-channel distribution method, as there are three intermediaries, three different networks that are involved in getting the product to the consumer. So now let's talk about the implications of e-commerce and how it has affected place. So first of all, because of e-commerce, you have cost time efficiency. And this is because there's less transportation costs that are involved as you are directly delivering the products to your customer. And this also means that consumers have lower prices as there are less fees involved in bringing the products to them. Second, it also has this thing called customer orientation, and it's basically better services because companies now can understand and tailor to your needs. So, for example, if you look in Amazon, you see that they mostly recommend products that you're most likely to buy based on past purchases. And you also receive very detailed information like product reviews, which can help determine whether or not you're going to buy this product. And the third is shipment tracking, and this is in a way related to customer orientation as you have more information on where your products are, and this relates to better services for the consumer. So now we're going to talk about the third marketing mix, which is price. Okay, so first of all, what's the difference between cost and price? So cost is the amount needed to produce a certain product, and this is paid by the producer or the manufacturer or the company, whereas price is the amount paid by the customer for a certain product or service. So it's paid by a customer, and price has to be, of course, greater than the cost so that businesses can make profits. So let's talk about the importance of price. Well, first of all, price is the variable that brings in the revenue and profits through sales because it's the money that the company gains. It also creates implications on product quality. So what this means is that higher prices often mean greater quality. You can often see this through luxury brands where they have really high prices, often for very good quality. And it's the marketing mix variable where a competitive response can be most quickly implemented. So for example, if you see that one of your products is declining in demand, then you can quickly set lower prices. And this stimulates demand because it is a competitive price. It is one of the lower prices than other within that prices industry or competitive markets. The important thing to remember, however, is that once a price has been set, customers often show resistance in changing it. So it's important to find a price that finds a balance between demand and costs and profits that are needed to recover from the costs. Okay, so there's 5 main types of pricing strategies. Cost plus pricing is adding a percentage profit margin to the cost per unit price so that you can already determine what the selling profit is without having to launch in the market. Demand pricing is, as its name suggests, based on customer demand and their perceived value of the products. And you can also use a supply and demand curve to determine the optimal price for the most profits. Competitor pricing is looking into your competitor prices. So if they have their products set a bit cheaper than yours, you may lower your prices to attract new customers and switch brand loyalty. The fourth is product line pricing, and this is basically separating the products that you have in your product family into cost categories. And what these cost categories do is that it divides products into different features and different qualities. And of course, higher quality products would have higher prices. And the last is psychological pricing, and this is rounding down numbers. And this makes it seem like you're getting a bargain. So examples could be like $99.99 or just rounding down that 1 cent. The last marketing mix is promotion. And promotion is not only advertising, it covers a wide range of things, and it's a method of communicating messages about a certain product to your consumer. The three main aims of promotion as well is to inform customers about the new features and why your product is better than those of competitors, to persuade consumers to change brand loyalty and switch to your company brand, and also to remind current or remind old audiences about your products and its benefits. So there are two main types of promotional methods. You have ATL, which is above the line, and BTL, which is below the line. So ATL is paid for promotional method through independent mass media sources. And so you could advertise through TV, radio, cinema, and etc. Whereas BTL uses non-mass media promotional activities. But that doesn't mean it's cheap either, because you also have to purchase, for example, flyers. So this means that you have to purchase paper and all the ink and etc. So it's not free either. So these are just some examples of BTL promotion. You could have sales promotion, direct marketing, which is promoting your products one to one to a customer, merchandising or telemarketing, and you also have this thing called guerrilla marketing. And this is most often used by startups that don't have much money, and these are creative and unconventional ways of promoting your brand. One thing to remember is that technology really has broadened ways of promotion and opportunities for promotion. And much like how technology and e-commerce has disrupted place, it has also disrupted promotion. So examples could be that nowadays companies use viral marketing and social media as platforms to reach wider audiences. So just to recap, these are the topics that we have covered for topic 9.3. Thank you.